Dear students, welcome to Tungal online classes. Today we shall start with the important chapter of alternating current. Yes, so far whatever chapters we have completed, in that we have considered the direct current. See here, if I consider a DC circuit like this, yes, so let us consider a component that is a resistor. When resistor is connected to the battery or a cell, the current starts flowing through the resistor. Okay, so let us consider that current is somewhere around 2 amperes. Let us say I is equal to 2 amperes. So this magnitude of the current which is passing through resistance, that remains constant with time. Yes, so that is, if I plot time along x-axis and the magnitude of the current flowing through this resistor along the y-axis, after any time interval here, the current almost remains constant. Okay, after 2 seconds current is 2 ampere, after 4 seconds current is 2 ampere. So current flowing through this component, electrode component, is remaining constant with the time. Okay, but in the previous chapter of electromagnetic induction, so when we have studied the production of alternating current with the AC generator, we have seen the EMF induced, the EMF produced, that is something like this. So that was the sinusoidal like this. Okay, so if I consider this type of current, so this we have termed as alternating current. So what happens? What is the difference between this and this here? We can clearly observe. So here the current is moving only in one direction. Yes, but here we can observe the current is changing its direction. See here, if it is one complete cycle of this alternating current, right? So let us say this is the time period of t here. Along x-axis, that we plot omega t, or simply I can plot time here. We can observe here at different time intervals, or different values of the time, the current is not same. Yes, you can observe the current is increasing here, then the current is decreasing. Means at different values of the time, the magnitude of the electric current or voltage, I can plot voltage as well as current along y-axis. So if I consider the alternating current, the magnitude of this current is changing at different times. Yes, and also let us consider this is half of the cycle. This is one complete cycle. After this part, the cycle again repeats. Okay, the time taken for this one complete cycle, that we have taken it as a time period capital T. Okay, so at T by 2, that is half of the cycle, the direction of the electric current is reversing here. So if I consider this is positive cycle of the alternating current, after the T by 2 time, the direction is changing. So this will be negative half cycle of the alternating current. So after half of the cycle, the current changes its direction. Again the magnitude will increase, and again it will move to 0 again. Okay, so from this we can clearly observe that in alternating current, the magnitude of the current is changing with time. Yes, so here also again current increases, then again current decreases, and the cycle repeats. Yes, so in alternating current, the magnitude of the alternating current or voltage, it changes with time. Yes, it changes with time, and also it changes its direction after half of the cycle. Yes, so that is basic definition of alternating current. We can define alternating current as, it is the current whose magnitude continuously changes with time and whose direction changes after half of the cycle. Yes, so that is a basic definition of alternating current. Yes, so here whatever equation, here whatever figure we have seen, this is a sinusoidal function, right? So this is a sinusoidal alternating current, means the current is changing as a sine function of the omega t. Yes, so this electric current we can represent as I is equal to I naught of sine omega t. Yes, so here t is the time given and omega is angular frequency of this waveform. Yes, and I naught is the peak value of the electric current, that is this value, right? So whatever maximum possible electric current is there, so the peak value of this electric current we can write it as a I naught. Okay, the same way we can also represent alternating voltage also, right? So along y-axis I can write V, along x-axis I can write T or omega T I can write, right? So here also the voltage is continuously changing with time, and it is also reversing after half of the cycle. Yes, and this maximum value of voltage I can write it as a V naught. Yes, similarly on the opposite side also it will be having the value of V naught. The same equation I can write it for voltage also. I can write this equation for alternating voltage as V is equal to V naught of sin omega t. So these equations can also be written in the form of cos functions. I can write I is equal to I naught of cos omega t, or I can write V is equal to V naught of cos omega t. Okay, cos function will be advanced here. If I write here, so whatever these functions I am representing, this is alternating current for sine function, this is alternating voltage for sine function. So if I have to represent cos functions here, so cos function will be maximum when this omega t is 0. So if I have to plot the current along y-axis and time along x-axis, I will be having curve something like this. Yes. So here this is representation of I is equal to I naught of sin omega t. When t is equal to 0, I is equal to I naught. Yes. This is the maximum value of electric current. Yes. Similarly, voltage also it will be similar to this curve. That is, voltage is maximum when time t is equal to 0. I can represent V along y-axis, omega t along x-axis, or I can write t along x-axis. Okay. So this equation is V is equal to V naught of sin omega t. Okay. In these equations, I naught and V naught, those are the maximum values of the alternating current and voltages. Okay. See here, and I have only one time interval here. So at specific time of t, that is when time t is equal to t by 4, and when time t is equal to 3t by 4, I will be having maximum values of V naught as well as I naught. Okay, and different values of the times, the magnitude of the V is continuously changing. Okay, and these are called the peak values of alternating current and voltages. Omega is angular frequency, T is the time given, and this I and V, these are called instantaneous values, right? So if I am considering current, it is called instantaneous current. Yes, and if I consider the voltage, it is instantaneous voltage. It is the value of the current or voltage at a given time. Yes, if I consider this time here, so let us say after time t is equal to 2 seconds, what is the value of voltage? What I will do, I will consider the time of 2 seconds. At this point, whatever is the value of voltage is there, so this value of voltage I consider it as instantaneous voltage. Okay. Similarly, after some time of 2 seconds, let us say this is time of 2 seconds here. At this point, whatever is the value of current, right? So that current I consider it as instantaneous value of current. Okay. So this is how to represent alternating current and alternating voltage. The main difference between DC and AC is continuously changing in magnitude as well as in a direction. In the equations I is equal to I naught sin of omega t, or V is equal to V naught sin omega t. This factor omega t is called phase. Yes. In fact, here we have seen in the chapter of oscillations and waves what is phase here. So let us plot the alternating current along y-axis and current time along x-axis here, or we can plot omega t along x-axis. So if I know the value of omega t, I can know the value of instantaneous current or instantaneous voltage. Okay, so this phase is the factor which represents the values of instantaneous currents or voltages. For example, if omega t is equal to pi by 2. Yes, if omega t is equal to pi by 2, I will be equal to I naught. Is it not? I will be equal to I naught. Similarly, if omega t is equal to pi radians, that time automatically I will be equal to 0 according to this equation. And if omega t is equal to 3 pi by 2, that is 270 degrees, so I will be equal to what? Minus of I naught. If omega t is equal to 2 pi radians, I will be equal to 0. Similarly, I can apply it for voltages also. Yes. So at different values, if I know omega t is equal to 45 degrees, I can calculate what is the magnitude of instantaneous current or instantaneous voltage. So this omega t, the phase, it is a factor which represents the magnitudes of instantaneous current and instantaneous voltages. Yes, so this is about phase of alternating current or alternating voltage. Yes, and whatever current we are using, whatever voltage we are using in our day-to-day life, maximum of that, almost about 99% of alternating current we are using, that is alternating current. Okay, so why do we prefer alternating current over direct current? There are some significant advantages which make us to use the alternating current in place of direct current. Yes, that is, first advantage of alternating current is it is cheaper than direct current. Okay, so when I consider direct current, to get the electrical energy we have to use cells or battery. Okay, but we have seen the production of alternating current using AC generators, so it is much easier and it is cheaper than using direct current. Okay, so this is first advantage of alternating current over direct current. Yes, then even if you want to use DC, we can convert AC into DC easily using a rectifier. Yes, AC can be converted to DC using rectifiers. Yes, using rectifiers, that we shall see. So that process is very easy. Even if you want some DC, you can easily convert AC into DC. The mobile battery chargers that we are using in homes, adapters, all those are the devices in which we are converting AC into 230 volt AC is converted into very small quantity of direct current voltage. Okay, alternating voltage EMF which is produced in the power plants, that can be easily transmitted to long distances by stepping it up, right? So we know the heat losses because of the electric current is equal to what? I square R into T. Okay, so it is directly proportional to square of the current flowing through the conductor. So if I value is more, the heat losses will be much more. Yes, so whenever we are transmitting the electric energy from the source of that energy to the different places which are long distant from the source, it is very difficult if we have higher values of currents. Okay, so this is where alternating currents are very useful. So here what we do, we know power is equal to what? Power is equal to V into I. Okay, so when power remains same, if I increase the value of voltage, automatically current will come down here. So what we do, whatever voltage is produced, EMF is produced in the power plants, so its voltage we will increase to very large values, so that the current value automatically reduces to compensate the increase in this voltage. Okay, this is called stepping up, right? So alternating voltage can be easily transmitted over long distances by stepping it up and stepping it down using transformers. So transmission of alternating voltage with minimum heat loss is possible using transformers. So we will avoid the loss of electric energy. Yes, and some of the characteristics of alternating current, they can be exploited using different electronic component, right? So they can be exploited using different electronic components such as LC oscillators, right? So these are some of advantages of alternating current over direct current. Yes, as we have seen from the graph of alternating current, if I plot the alternating current along y-axis and time along x-axis, we have seen the magnitude of this alternating current is continuously changing with the time. Okay, if you consider n number of times, correspondingly I will be having n values of these instantaneous currents. Okay, I1, I2, I3, something like that. Okay, but which value of this electric current we have to consider? So for that we have two terms here, that is average value of alternating current and root mean square value of alternating current. Okay, so first let us understand what is average value of alternating current. So for this what we do, we consider n number of instantaneous currents, we calculate the mean of the average of all these instantaneous currents up to time period of t by 2. Okay, why we are considering t is equal to t by 2? Because if you consider one complete cycle, this is positive half cycle, this is negative half cycle, so these values of the currents will have positive value, these values of the currents will be negative, so the average will become equal to 0. So to avoid that, we consider only up to time t is equal to capital T by 2. Okay, and theoretically the definition of average value of alternating current can be understood like this. Let us consider a circuit connected to a DC source. Let us say simple resistor I will take. Yes, so this is connected to DC source of EMF V here. Okay, and let us consider the same resistor, the same circuit is connected to the AC source. Okay, and let us consider the number of charges sent by this AC source during half of this time period, that is t by 2, let it be q. Okay, this AC source is sending the charge of q during the time of t by 2. Okay, then the average value of this alternating current is that value of the steady current. So here, because of this DC source, there is some steady current flowing through this circuit. Okay, so this value will be equal to that value of steady current which sends same number of charges, through the same circuit as sent by the AC source during a same time interval. Okay, I repeat again here, the average value of alternating current is that value of steady current, flowing through the DC circuit which sends same number of charges through the circuit as sent by the AC source in the same time, that is t by 2. Okay, so that is the theoretical definition of average value of alternating current. Okay, so it is that value of steady current, flowing through DC circuit which sends same number of charges as sent by AC source in t by 2 time interval through the same circuit. Okay, this is the definition of average value of alternating current. Okay, then mathematically we define it as it is I average is equal to the sum of all these instantaneous currents. To consider the sum of all the instantaneous currents, I will integrate. We know the basic definition of instantaneous current. Basic equation is equal to what? I is equal to I naught sin omega t. When we know the general equation of this instantaneous current, we can integrate this equation between the limits. Okay, limits are what? Time t is equal to 0 and time t is equal to t by 2. If I integrate this equation, I will get the total instantaneous current. So I can write it as I into dt between the limits of 0 to t by 2 whole divided by total time is how much? T by 2. Okay, this will give me the average value of instantaneous currents. Okay, and let us simplify this. So I can write it as 0 to T by 2 integration of I is nothing but I naught sin omega t with respect to t divided by t by 2. So this t by 2 I can take it outside, 2 divided by t I can write. I naught is also constant, that is the maximum value of alternating current, that also I will take it outside. So I will integrate just sin omega t with respect to dt between the limits of 0 to t by 2. Yes, then let us simplify this. 2 into I naught, this capital T, yes, that it will be as it is, integration of sin omega t. Integration of sin omega t is equal to what? Sin omega t into dt, that is equal to minus of cos omega t divided by omega. Yes, I can directly integrate this. I can write this as minus of cos omega t whole divided by omega between the limits of 0 to t by 2. Okay, integration of sin ax is minus of cos ax divided by a. Okay, that is what I have written here. So I can write I average is equal to this minus, I can write it outside, minus of 2 I naught divided by t, and let us apply the limits here. So omega also I can take it outside. I can write cos omega t between the limits of 0 to t by 2. So this is equal to minus of 2 I naught divided by t into omega. So in place of small t, first let us substitute the upper limit. Okay, that is how we apply the limits here. I can write cos of omega into t is nothing but a capital T, right? So t by 2 minus of cos 0. Okay, and we know omega is equal to what? Angular frequency is equal to 2 pi f. This is also equal to what? 2 pi by t. That we shall substitute here. So I can write I average is equal to minus of 2 I naught divided by t into omega. So this I can write it as omega is nothing but 2 pi by t. Yes, 2 pi by t I will write into t by 2. 2 get cancelled here, t get cancelled, minus of cos 0. Okay, so this I write it here. I can get it as I average is equal to minus of 2 I naught whole divided by t into omega. Inside bracket I can write this as, this will be cos pi minus of cos of 0. Okay, so this is equal to minus 2 I naught divided by t into omega. Cos pi is nothing but minus 1 minus of cos 0 is 1. So this I get it as minus 2 I naught divided by t omega into minus of 2. Again omega is equal to what? Omega is equal to 2 pi by t, that I am substituting it here again, minus of 2 I naught into t into omega is nothing but 2 pi by t. This t get cancelled here. So here I have minus of 2 again. This 2 get cancelled here. So minus into minus is plus. I can write it as 2 times of I naught divided by pi. Okay, so this is the average value of current. Equation of average value of current is equal to what? 2 I naught divided by pi. So this is around 0.637 into I naught. So the average value of alternating current is 0.637 times of maximum value of alternating current, or this I can write it as 63.7% of maximum value of alternating current. Okay, so this is the expression for the average value of alternating current. Yes, next we shall discuss the root mean square value of alternating current, or simply we call it as RMS value of alternating current. It is root mean square value. It is the root mean square value of alternating current. As the name suggests, it is the square root of the average of the squares of instantaneous currents. So let us say I have instantaneous currents I1, I2, I3, something like that. Okay, so these are the instantaneous values. If I take the average of all these squares of these instantaneous currents, if I take the average of that, if I take the average of squares of these instantaneous currents, and then I take the square root. That will give me the root mean square value of that alternating current. Okay, and theoretically we have another definition of this also. So for that, what we shall do, let us consider two circuits here. So let me consider a resistor R connected to the DC source of supply. Then the same resistor or the same circuit, let it be connected to the alternating source of voltage here. Okay, so let us consider there is some heat generated in this resistor because of this alternating current. Okay, let that heat generated is H. Yes, and the RMS value of this alternating current, I write it as IRMS. It is the root mean square value of alternating current through this second circuit. Okay, so let us say there is some current of I flowing through this DC circuit because of this DC source of supply. The RMS value of the alternating current is that value of steady current flowing through the DC circuit produces the same amount of heat, as produced in the AC circuit, in the same time interval. Okay, so I repeat again here, it is that value of steady current which produces same amount of heat as produced by AC source through same circuit in same time duration. Let us consider in the given time duration the heat produced by the AC source in this resistor, if it is H, right? So in this DC source I should consider the value of current such that the heat produced in this resistor should also be equal to H in the same time interval. Mathematically, the RMS value of alternating current, it is the square root of mean of squares of instantaneous currents. Okay, so I can write this as IRMS is equal to square root of means of squares of instantaneous currents. Though mean of squares of the instantaneous currents, that can be written as integration between 0 to t. So I will add all the values of squares of the instantaneous currents. So for that, what I will do, I will integrate the square of instantaneous current equation with respect to time between the limits 0 to t. Okay, so and to take the average of this, I will divide this by the total time period of t. Okay, or this I can write it as integration of I square into dt between the limit 0 to t whole divided by capital T raised to 1 by 2. Okay, so this will give me the RMS value of alternating current. Okay, and let us derive the equation for that. I can write it as IRMS is equal to this one t, I will take it outside, 1 by t integration of 0 to t. I is nothing but I naught sin omega t, is it not? I naught sin omega t whole square into dt whole raised to 1 by 2. Okay, that is the square root. So this I can write it as 1 by t. Yes, I naught square I will take it outside, integration between the limits of 0 to t. This is also squared here, I write it as sin square omega t into dt, and I have to take the square root of this. Yes, then I can write IRMS is equal to I naught square divided by capital T. So to integrate the sin square omega t, we have to write it in the form of cos. Okay, I write it as integration between 0 to t sin square omega t can be written as 1 minus of cos 2 omega t whole divided by 2 into dt. Okay, and I have to take the square root of this. Yes, and let us simplify this. I can write I RMS is equal to this 2 also I take it outside, I naught square divided by 2 times of t. Then I have to integrate this, integration of 0 to t 1 minus of cos 2 omega t with respect to t I have to take, then I have to take the square root of this whole term. Yes, so now we shall integrate this term separately. Okay, so this I can write it as I naught square divided by 2 times of t. So separately I will apply the integration for both these terms. I can write integration of 0 to t 1 into dt, okay, minus of integration between the limit of 0 to t cos of 2 omega t into dt. Yes, I have to take the square root of this term. I hope it is clear. Yes, now let me write I RMS is equal to I naught square divided by 2 times of t, integration of 1 with respect to t is equal to what? T, small t between the limits of 0 to capital T, minus of integration of cos 2 omega t, that is nothing but sin of 2 omega t divided by 2 omega. Look at this, integration of cos ax is sin ax divided by a. In place of a I have 2 omega here, so I can write integration of cos 2 omega t is equal to what? Sin 2 omega t divided by 2 omega. 2 omega is constant between the limits of 0 to capital T. Okay, and this whole term I have to take the square root. Yes, and let us simplify this. I can write I RMS is equal to I naught square divided by 2 times of t. Let me apply the limits for these terms. First I will take the upper limit capital T minus of lower limit is 0, minus of 1 divided by 2 omega, I take it outside, then I will apply the limit of sin of 2 omega, variable is what? Small t here, there I substitute the limit. So here I can write it as 2 omega into capital T minus of sin of lower limit is 0. Okay, so for this whole term I have to take the square root. Okay, let us simplify this. I naught square divided by 2 times of t into bracket t minus of 1 divided by 2 omega. What is this omega? Omega is equal to what? 2 pi by t, is it not? So that we shall substitute. I write it as sin of 2 into 2 pi by t into t minus of sin 0 is nothing but 0. Okay, this term I have to take the square root again. Okay, this I write it as I naught square divided by 2 times of t inside bracket t minus of this t get cancelled here. Yes, so here I will remain with the sin of 4 pi. What is sin of 4 pi? That is again 0, sin 0, sin 2 pi, sin 4 pi, sin 6 pi, all those values are equal to 0. So this term becomes equal to 0, whole term becomes equal to 0. So this will be, I have to take the square root of this. So I can write I RMS is equal to I naught square divided by this t get cancelled, is it not? 2t into t I will remain with. So this square root of this I have to take. Okay, so I will get I RMS is equal to square root of I naught square divided by 2. This implies I will get the I RMS value is equal to what? I naught divided by square root of 2. Okay, so this is the equation for RMS value of alternating current. Okay, or this I can write it as I RMS is equal to 0.707 times of maximum value of alternating current, or I can write I RMS is equal to what? 70.7% of peak value of alternating current. Okay, similarly we can also write it for the voltage. VRMS is equal to what? V naught, yes, that is equal to 1 divided by square root of 2 into V naught. Okay, so this is the RMS value of voltage. Yes, average value of current what we got here? I average is equal to 0.637 I naught, or we can also write it for the voltage, that is V average is equal to 0.63 times of V naught. Okay. Similarly, these are the values of the RMS values of alternating current and voltage. Okay. These are the expressions for the average and RMS values of alternating current and alternating voltages. Next, we shall see what happens when just a resistor is connected to alternating source of voltage. Okay. So for that, what I will do, let us consider a simple resistor. Let there be only resistor in the circuit which is connected to the AC source of voltage. Okay. And we know the voltage is given by V is equal to V naught of sin omega t. Okay. And let us write the equation for current flowing through this circuit when there is just a resistor, pure resistor connected in the circuit. Okay. So for that, what we shall do, let us consider the current flowing through this circuit is capital I. Okay. By using Ohm's law, I can write the equation for electric current is equal to what? I is equal to V divided by R. Correct. So what is V here? V is equal to, I can write it as V naught of sin omega t divided by R. Yes. Then let us write this V naught divided by R separately. This I can write it as sin of omega t. Yes. What is this V naught divided by R? V naught is a maximum voltage and R is the resistance of that resistor. So this V naught divided by R will give me the peak value of electric current. Voltage divided by resistance will give me the value of current. So that value of current is equal to what? I is equal to I naught of sin omega t. Okay. So this is the equation for electric current when we have pure resistor in the circuit, nothing else than a pure resistor. Okay. Compare the equations of V is equal to V naught sin omega t and I is equal to I naught sin omega t. Here I have V naught is peak value of the voltage and I naught is a peak value of the current, and look at the phase here. The phase here it is omega t, here also I have omega t. There is no phase difference between this omega t and this omega t. Okay. Hence, we can say both voltage and current, both alternating voltage and current are in phase with each other. What is meaning of that? So it means that when V is maximum, current is also maximum. When voltage is minimum, current is also minimum. Both are in phase with each other. Okay. So that we shall show by the graph and phasor. Okay. So we have something called phasor. Yes. So that I will explain here. First we shall draw the graph. Okay. Let me consider along x-axis we shall show the time. Along y-axis we shall show both alternating current as well as alternating voltage. Okay. As we know, the alternating voltage can be represented sinusoidally, right? So that graph I will draw here. Let us consider this is the graph which indicates the variation of alternating voltage. I can write the equation for this. This is V is equal to V naught of sin omega t. Okay. So we have seen both these are in phase with each other. So when I start from 0 time, right? So this is time 0. Here this is one time period of capital T. Okay. Or we can say, if I consider the phase angle, that is omega t, if I consider. So here it is pi by 2, this is pi, this is 3 pi by 2 and this is 2 pi. This is one complete cycle. Okay. Next the cycle again repeats. These are periodic functions. Yes. So this curve, this blue color graph indicates the variation of voltage with respect to time. V is equal to V naught of sin omega t. Okay. Then how to represent the current here? We can clearly observe when, let us say omega t is pi by 2. In both cases, if omega t is pi by 2, V is equal to what? V naught sin pi by 2. Correct? Sin pi by 2 is equal to 1. So V will be equal to V naught. Similarly, substitute omega t is equal to pi by 2. What happens? I will be equal to I naught. Okay. Similarly, if I substitute omega t is equal to pi radians, automatically sin pi is equal to 0, V will be equal to 0. That is what we observe here. Similarly, when omega t is equal to pi radians, or 180 degrees, current will also be equal to 0. Okay. So from both these equations we have to observe that both current and voltage are in phase with each other. So when omega t is equal to pi by 2, I should get the current also maximum. Okay. So these are the different values of currents at different values of phase angles. So this curve if I plot it like this, so this will represent the variation of alternating current with respect to time. Yes, you can clearly observe here. So this is how we represent the alternating current. So this equation will give me I is equal to I naught of sin omega t. Okay. So this is what we say, both voltage and current are in phase with each other. When this is maximum, voltage is also maximum. When this is minimum, voltage is also minimum. When current is negative in opposite, maximum in opposite direction, the voltage is also having the maximum value in opposite direction. Yes, the same variation of this alternating voltage as well as alternating current can also be represented using phasor diagrams. Okay, how to understand that phasor diagram, that we shall see. So when I consider the pure resistor circuit, we have seen the equation for voltage is equal to what? V is equal to V naught of sin omega t, and current is given by I is equal to I naught of sin omega t. Okay. So to understand the phasor diagram, first we shall consider the value of voltage here. Let me plot the graph of voltage. Okay. So along x-axis I will represent the phase angle, along y-axis let me represent the alternating voltage. Okay. The graph varies sinusoidally like this. Yes, so this is the variation of the graph with respect to time. Okay. Then a phasor is any vector which varies sinusoidally with respect to time. Okay. So here we can clearly see here this alternating voltage is varying sinusoidally with respect to time. The same graph, the same cycle can also be represented using simple one phasor. Okay. So the same thing I will project it here. Yes, let us consider the vertical axis. Okay. So I will consider this angle is 0, this angle is pi by 2, this is phase angle of pi, this is phase angle of 3 pi by 2, again this is phase angle of 2 pi radians. Whatever this one complete cycle of 2 pi radians is there, the same thing can be represented just like a circle. Okay. So this is phase angle of pi by 2, this is pi, this is 3 pi by 2, and this is 2 pi. The cycle again repeats. Okay. When angle is when phase angle is omega t is equal to pi by 2, I will be having V is equal to what? V naught. So this is the maximum value of voltage which is equal to V naught. Okay. When omega t is equal to pi, V is equal to 0. When omega t is equal to 3 pi by 2, sin 3 pi by 2 is minus 1, V is equal to what? Minus of V naught. So this is minus of V naught. Okay. Similarly, when omega t is equal to 2 pi radians, the value of V is equal to 0. Okay. This is varying sinusoidally. Yes. So now first let us mark the maximum value of this voltage, that is the peak value of voltage. So that will just pass through the topmost positions here. So this will give me the whatever this height is there. So this height will give me the maximum value of voltage. Okay. Then so this, let me name this, let me write it as O to A. This O to A can be considered as a phasor or a vector. Okay. So when my angle is pi by 2, the height is how much? Maximum, that is equal to V naught. When angle is 0, this height must be reduced to 0. Okay. So for that what I will do? I will just rotate this phasor by 90 degrees. Okay. When angle is 0, the same phasor rotates by 1/4 of the circle. Yes. So that will be somewhere here. So this is a point B. Okay. The projection of point B on the vertical axis will give me 0 height. So when my angle is 0, when omega t is equal to 0, if I project it on this vertical axis, the height will be equal to 0. Is it not? Then if I consider any intermediate position like this, okay, let us consider somewhere here. Let me take some angle of pi by 4 radians. So when my angle is pi by 4 radians, what is the value of voltage? From this graph I can see the value of voltage is something like this. So this is the value of instantaneous voltage. Okay, and how to get this value of instantaneous voltage in this graph? For that, what I will do, I will draw a line. At a given angle. Angle's value can be anything. For example, I am taking 45 degree here. It can be 60 degrees. It can be 30 degrees. For different values of phase angles, I will have different values of voltages. For understanding purpose, now we shall take omega t is equal to pi by 4 radians or 45 degrees. When it is 45 degree, what I will do, I will just draw a line of 45 degree here. Okay, then wherever it cuts this curve, let us draw it neatly here, wherever it cuts the circular arc, that point, so that point I will take it as a C here. Let me consider this point is a C, right? This C, I will project it on this vertical axis. Okay, I will project it on this vertical axis, and whatever height I get, so that will give me the instantaneous value of voltage. Okay, and if I project this point C, it will be coinciding with the same line here, right? So that will also coincide with the same point. So for both these represent a same variation of the voltage. Okay, and this curve can be extended for a complete 360 degree angles also. Okay, the same thing I can do it for one complete cycle, that is a 360 degree rotation of the phasor. Are you getting it? Then similarly on the same graph we shall represent the current also. See here, both are in phase with each other, so current also varies exactly in line with the voltage. Okay, so when voltage is maximum, current is maximum. Let us consider this is the value of current. Okay, when voltage is minimum, current is also minimum. When voltage is maximum in opposite direction, current will also be maximum in opposite direction. Again at phase angle of 2 pi radians, this will be 0, and this is how the current value varies. This curve represents I is equal to I naught of sin omega t. Okay, similarly, how to consider the value of instantaneous current at angle of 45 degrees? The same point I will cut it on the curve here. Okay, this is the point of intersection, right? The same line I will project it, on the vertical axis of phasor. Yes, I will project it up to here. Okay, so this is one way of getting the value of current. So this is the instantaneous value of current. Or you can also do it by another method. Just as I represented the maximum value of voltage, the maximum value of current is here. This is the value of I naught, correct? So this is the value of I naught. You project it on the vertical axis. So this is the maximum value of I naught. Are you getting it? The same height, the same phasor, this is the phasor, right? So let me write it as O to D. O to D represents the phasor of alternating current. The same line will rotate for 45 degree again. Yes, so if I project it here, I will get it somewhere like this. So this is the intersection point at angle of 45 degrees. If I project it back, the same point I will get it here. Okay, again the same curve that will be making one complete circle like this. Yes, so here if I write it as, so let me represent O to P. O to P represents the phasor of the alternating current. This will be rotating for 360 degrees, and similarly O to C will be the phasor of alternating voltage, that will also be making an angle of 360 degrees. But at any angle you consider, both these lines will be collinear. Okay, when angle is 0, the current phasor is also along x axis, the voltage phasor is also along x axis. At angle 90 degrees, both will be along positive y axis. This is how we can represent the variation of voltage and current using phasor diagrams. Okay, the same graph is projected on this vertical axis to get the instantaneous values of current and voltage.